Fellas, do you sometimes lack confidence in the bedroom? Well, have no fear. RexMD is here just in time to bring you some holiday cheer. Our sponsor, RexMD, is FDA approved. To help you always be prepared, RexMD makes getting generic and branded Viagra or Cialis easy. Everything's online, even the prescription, and they deliver it directly to you. No trips to the doctor, no insurance, and no copay. Take advantage of their best deal yet and save up to 90% off and only pay $2 per dosage. With just a few clicks of a button, you can talk directly to a medical professional, create a personalized plan, and get the products discreetly shipped straight to your door, and you'll do it all within 2 days. RexMD has already helped over 300,000 guys gain confidence quickly and conveniently. Act now to take advantage of their best deal yet by heading to RexMD.com/Chael, where you're only going to pay $2 per dosage. That's RexMD.com/Chael for up to 90% off. Give the gift of pleasure this holiday season with RexMD. Moicano called out Paddy the Baddy. Now, Moicano was fun. You guys remember his last fight? Moicano did this interview, and it was so impassioned. And the English was broken. It was all ever, but golly, he cared. You could tell that he cared. It mattered to him. People were apparently giving him a hard time. I imagine that's through social media, about losing to RDA. And he touched on that. But he kept calling himself Moicano. He never said, like, I was, and then fill in the blank. He kept saying Moicano. He said Moicano was in Brazil. Moicano was eating steak, drinking beer. Moicano gets on an airplane. Moicano comes out with no training and takes on RDA. Like, the whole thing, it was awesome. It was awesome, quite frankly. But at one point in there, he said, Moicano needs money. And I think specifically, he was asking for a fight of the night bonus. But he turns and he said it to Dana. Moicano needs money. It was awesome. The whole thing was awesome. So Moicano has called out Paddy the Baddy. Now, when that happened, my first thought was that can't happen. Paddy the Baddy is a 55-pounder. Moicano's a 70-pounder. So I go and look it up. That's not true. There might have been an exception in a one-off. My memory might be right that Moicano and RDA did fight at 170. Moicano spent 10 years as a 45-pounder. And up until present time, I think it was from like 2020 until present time, he's been a 55-pounder. He had the one-off with RDA. I'm only sharing that with you in case any of you fall into the same misconception that I did of, hey, those guys are weight classes apart. They're not. So Moicano, Paddy Pimblett. Now, the one part that I didn't love about it is somebody came in to back up Moicano. Somebody on Team Moicano came to back up his call out and said, come on, Paddy the Baddy. This is your opportunity into the top 15. And that's just on a personal note. I have the foggiest idea who wants to be in the top 15. I don't know what that means. Maybe I'm wrong. There's times where you're so close to the trees you don't see the forest. Maybe I've got to stand back, and maybe with this new era of fighters and this new era of fans, maybe that's a real thing. Because I do know top 10 is. If a guy got put in a magazine or he got put in an article and he was in the top 10 in the world, he will save that magazine and article. He will hope that his grandkids see it someday. He'll be very proud of it. Rank number 4, rank number 9, anywhere in the top 10. Has it extended to 15? I get, maybe I'm asking a little bit of a question there. I don't personally understand that one. Like, football will do that. They're ranked in the top 25. And that's a big deal. If you're coach of a team and you're ranked in the top 25, you will use that. And your athletic director, I mean, you're going to get bonuses and you're going to get re-signed. It's going to be a point of leverage. Now, they don't ever play it. You don't ever have to actually prove that you even are in the top 25. You just have to get your name written down. You just have to have somebody put your name down. I think that that's weird. And I also think 15's weird. I just do. And I love opportunity. I love the interim championship. I love when there's more divisions. I love when there's something to spread around and some more people can get some recognition. 15 just seems like a very arbitrary and weird number to me. Why didn't we go to 20? Why did we ever stop at 10? Fair questions and simple questions. But what if Paddy the Baddy agrees with me? What if Paddy the Baddy agrees with me? And he goes, never in my life, ever, anywhere, have I ever woken up with a goal to drive forward and do what's hard so I can be in the top 15? What if he agrees with me? And somebody said this is his ticket into the top 15. Says who? Now, I got to assume by that statement that Moicano's in the top 15. So does that mean if you beat Moicano, you take his spot? Because that's not the way that it works. It often does. It doesn't have to. So you're not actually offering anything. First off, your offer was a break into the top 15. Where do you sit? Are you number 8? That would be top 15. Are you number 15? Do you think that that's a glorious spot? Do you think that you really have something to offer? And am I wrong? Maybe you do. Maybe I'm over here being a snide prick about it. That is possibly true. A lot of veterans will do that. Well, it wasn't that way in my time. Well, your time wasn't as good. We've advanced and we do it differently now. Maybe I'm being one of those guys. All I used to have to play with was a stick and a rock. Maybe I'm being one of those guys. But what kind of a statement is that? This is your time into the top 15. I mean, first off, is that something anybody wants? And where are you? Are you number 15? I'm assuming you're number 15. Like, if you were number 11, you wouldn't call it the top 15. You know, I did that to a girl one time. This girl was pressuring me. She said, "Do you love me?" Very hard thing. I've only said those words to one girl in my life, but I'm getting this girl. She's asking me that. And I said, "You're top 100. You're top 100. And that was true. I didn't know 100 girls. It was meant to be funny. I didn't know 20 girls. I wasn't Don Juan, and I had this long list, but that's what I hit her with. You're somewhere in the top 100. What do you mean top 15? Why would Paddy want to be in the top 15? Paddy's a co-main event guy. That's official. He's a co-main event guy. Do you have something in a main event spot? If you don't, then you don't have anything for me. Moicano versus Paddy the Baddy. Man, I got to tell you, I love the fight. I just don't know who the guy was in the cheap seats thought he would come in and weigh in. This is your shot into the top 15. I don't know, and I could be wrong on that. Maybe guys want to be in the top 15. I've been wrong before. It's extremely rare. Is that what's happening now? And before we go down that road, how do you get a response from Paddy the Baddy? Like, Moicano did everything right. That's a really interesting fight. Moicano versus Paddy the Baddy. I like that. But once you're going to take a risk with Paddy the Baddy, why not risk it all the way? And I see people make this mistake all the time, and it's really just a philosophy within business. But if you're $1 behind to the bank or you're $1 million behind, the punishment's the same. So what do you want to do? I mean, if you're going to take a step, and the step is as big as Moicano, if you're going to slip, quite possibly, let's slip on something that seems a little bit more glamorous, and that's where I would insert Justin Gaethje. I'm not ready to let go of that idea. Paddy the Baddy versus Justin Gaethje is a highly possible fight. I think that Justin would really like that fight. I don't think that Paddy would care, but I don't know. One thing Paddy does not do is call people out. I do not know. But I know that in the minds of the pundits and the reporters and the fellow fans, they don't try to link Paddy and Justin Gaethje because they don't think that the promoter will make that. They think the promoter, they're of the mind that he's protecting Paddy, and that would be too big of a risk. Once you're going to take the risk, what's the difference? If it's $1 or it's $1 million, the punishment is the same. Can you beat the guy or can't you? I'm not ready to let that one go. And I think that Moicano was very right for speaking up. Moicano wants money. Moicano's apparently ranked in the top 15. Moicano wants Paddy the Baddy. Good for Moicano.